Welcome back to another episode of the Link podcast presented by Electra Link. I'm your host, Bree Pettit, and I hope that you're all having a great week so far. Today's episode is all about safety. This is so important to Electra Link, and we have a whole safety department dedicated to making sure that our team is safe on the job. Our goal is to prevent workplace injuries and illnesses and to make sure that every single employee is part of a safe and healthy working environment. So to share with all of you what Electra Link is doing to ensure that our team is doing all that they can to make sure this happens, Christy Christiansen, our safety manager, is joining us today to talk about all things safety. Christy, welcome to the Link podcast. I'm so excited that you're here.
I'm excited to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and how you got into safety?
So I've lived in our area for my whole life. I actually graduated from high school at McCullough High School, which is in the Woodlands.
Okay.
I have 6 brothers and 3 sisters. I am the youngest of the girls. And so I come from a huge family. And, having a bunch of people that have taught me, different things growing up has been a vital, part of my life, with my brothers being the ones that have kind of guided that path of what I wanted to do, what I didn't want to do, and what I wanted to set goals to be like. So
That's awesome. That's a big family.
it is.
That's great.
I am married 20 years this year. We have 2 children, a daughter that is 23. Actually, she'll be 24 on Wednesday. My daughter that'll be 24. I have a 27-year-old son, and then I have a 30-year-old stepson and a daughter-in-law.
Okay.
So,
Awesome.
my background is actually public safety, but my dad was a fire chief, also a police officer. My aunt was a police officer. My grandfather was a district judge in our county. So I grew up in the public safety realm. My mom was in teaching. So growing up young, I always was involved in, helping people and learning that was kind of what people do for each other. We kind of step in and help each other. The way I actually started off my career in public safety through adult probation.
Okay.
I was a police dispatcher right out of high school. I did that volunteer. My dad's friend was the chief of police in Willis. And so I went in and he taught me how to dispatch.
That's awesome.
It was fun. It was very high adrenaline, and I've always enjoyed high adrenaline things.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, I went into working for adult probation. I was with adult probation probably 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
And then during that time, I decided I was going to go to the police academy and become a police officer. So I went and became certified through the state of Texas as a police officer. I did that when my daughter was 6 months old. I decided that was the way I wanted to go. And during that time, I had one of my brothers had passed away, and that kind of really pushed me to get to reach my goals that I had set for a long time. I had children at a very young age, so it was very important that I show my kids that no matter how old you are, you can still, reach those goals. I have done all kinds of things. I was a human resource manager for a huge company. I was an office manager for a company. I did accounts receivables, accounts payables. I got into safety by the grace of God, because the guy that took me under his wing, I'd been laid off from a job at a huge lumber company. And this guy took a chance with me. He needed a human resource director, and he hired me. His name is Stuart. He's from England. Great guy. And it was at a chemical plant. And I knew nothing about chemicals and plant work or anything like that. And he, at that time, said, I need somebody in safety. Also said, just split your duties. And I was just like, I'm not real sure what you're talking about. What do you want me to do? So he took me under his wing and taught me about all these chemicals and hazardous materials, sent me to a bunch of trainings, made me enroll in school and go through and grab some certifications. And he was very much that almost like a father figure that pushes you to become the best that you can possibly be. Stuart and I worked together probably about 7 years. Like I said, I worked for a chemical company out of Huntsville, and that company was actually headquartered out of California. So the regulations from Texas and California are completely different. California is very, very stringent. So he allowed me to learn both aspects. So I got to gain a bunch of knowledge that I didn't have prior. And then I left that company. They did like a huge layoff. I left that company. I went to work somewhere else, and Stuart called me about a year later and was like, I need you back. And I took the risk and went back to work for him. And I kind of followed Stuart from there, from the chemical industry over to the precious metals industry. And then he ended up retiring and moving to Maine. And so I came here to become a safety admin. And here's where I landed.
That's awesome. Was there a specific way you heard about Electra Link, or did you kind of always know about them since getting into the chemicals? Or
so no, I was in the precious metal industry when I actually I worked for a company headquartered out of the Czech Republic. So I was in the Czech Republic a lot, and I came back over here, and we were what we did is we sold precious metal like thermocouple wire to other customers. During one of the presidential eras, because we were owned by a Russian company, we were sanctioned and that company was shut down. And so I found out about Electra Link just via, I think I actually found out on Indeed, and I came in, like I said, as an admin. I didn't want to be a manager anymore. I decided at that point I just wanted to like go to work, go home. I'd been a manager for a long time, and Ernie just had other plans for me. And I'm truly grateful that I came to Electra Link. This is a big family. The people are great. I've learned a lot here because my background is general industry. So I didn't have a whole lot of background in construction. So construction was a whole new gamut for me. So.
Is there a lot of things that are similar, or is everything different?
So there are a lot of things that are similar. General industry rules for OSHA are a lot more stringent than construction rules. So it's balancing those guidelines back and forth to see what fits us to the best characteristics to make sure that we're holding ourselves to that higher standard.
Yeah, that makes sense. Awesome. Okay. I was going to ask you what some of the roles you've had leading up to election. You've already answered that, so that's good. Can you tell me a little bit about the Electra Link safety team and kind of who all makes it up, kind of what you're doing with the safety team?
Sure. So our safety team has combined. I have myself. I have Jean Overton, who is in our San Antonio, Austin market. I have Jason Bellows, who's in my Dallas market. We combined together have over 59 years of experience.
That's awesome.
Our whole team. It's amazing. Like I went back just to calculate our experience wise, and it's very in depth. I will say Jason Bellows comes from Las Vegas, so he comes from general industry and construction. Has been a huge part to really pushing our Dallas market to a different level up there. I have Gene Overton in the San Antonio and Austin market. He has been with Electra Link the longest out of all of us. Gene has actually worked from the bottom all the way up to where he is now, which is great. And that's one of the Electra Link things that we like to do. We like to make sure that we are empowering our employees to become better within themselves and within our company. So it's been a really great thing to watch Gene come up through.
That's awesome. So then do you travel between the cities pretty regularly?
So once a quarter I do travel. So once a quarter I hit every location. Actually, I am also the first aid CPR trainer for our company. So I do all the first aid CPR training through every market that we have in all the different locations. So I go out and walk jobs. I meet our employees. I was in Dallas last week, and I was there for a total of like 6 days. And I went
Yeah.
and walked jobs. I like to meet the employees and let them see my face and let them understand that I'm here if they need anything.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they have that face-to-face contact with their local safety coordinator.
Yeah.
But them knowing me and getting my number out can help in a tremendous way. If something is not going right, they'll reach out. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay. Can you give me an overview of what the Electrolink safety program entails for the employees?
okay, so our employees go through a lot of training.
Mm-hmm.
It starts from new hire training. New hire training, they're required to go through probably 13 different training programs on their new hire, all the way from stop work authority to area lift certification. We don't put an employee out that's going to be using the lift without certificating or certifying them first. We want to make sure they're certified before they go out into the field. We have probably about 45% of our employees that are first aid CPR trained. That means that we at least have one person on every job site that is going to have that certification to help out an employee if need be. We also do yearly trainings. And when I say yearly trainings, we have employees that are required to certify every year in bucket truck training, aerial lift training. And every 2 years, they receive their first aid certification, recertify. Our industrial side also is required by Houston Area Safety Council and all of our plants to receive additional training per plant requirement. So we may have an employee that has our training, our safety training, but they may go down to Houston area and have another additional 50 or 60 hours of safety training via that location per the plant requirements that we have.
Okay.
All the employees are also required yearly to master all of their required OSHA trainings, and those are done on a monthly rotation. Those can be all the way from like lotto to active shooter to hand safety, proper PPE, HAZCOM, our emergency action plan. Yeah. So those all those employees are required to attend those trainings.
Okay, that's awesome. So anyone who's going to be in the field has these trainings, or some of them.
So anyone in the field has those trainings, and it trickles all the way up to our general managers of every location. So anybody that sets foot on a job site will be required to have safety training at least monthly to make sure that they meet our guidelines and what our expectations are of them.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you had kind of mentioned that the industrial side, that certain plants or certain job sites may require additional training. Is that kind of the only division that we have that does that? Do any of our other divisions require, I guess, special training that maybe the AV wouldn't have or industrial wouldn't have?
So all of our markets across require the same training.
Okay.
I will tell you that we do have additional training for one category that we call our fleet driver training.
Okay.
And all of our fleet operators, no matter who they are required yearly to go through distracted driver, inclement weather driving, defensive driving, and several other accident investigation, that kind of stuff, before they are allowed to continue driving a fleet vehicle that is furnished by us. That is another huge thing that we've really focused on. Those guys go through random drug tests and background checks, and they also I go through the state of Texas to make sure they haven't had any accidents within that year.
Okay.
And they have a high standard that they have to meet in order to drive our vehicles.
Yeah,
also,
that makes sense. That's good. That's good. We definitely have a lot of awesome safety stuff that we do.
Yes.
It's good. For the last 3 years in a row, Electrolink has been awarded the Highwire Safest Contractors and Vendors Platinum Award, which, for those who don't know what that means, it means that we have a safety score between 95 and 100, which is really, really good. What are some key things that you think have helped contribute to our team's success in being safe on the job and kind of maintaining this award for the past couple of years?
So I just wanted to kind of give everybody the synopsis of what that Highwire award is.
Do.
So that Highwire award, according to them, it shows that the company is reflecting on the commitment to improving the risk management culture and signaling that your business is safer and more financially viable, perform better work, and winning more business. So what those people do is they actually look at all aspects of safety. They look at our training. They look at our accident reporting. They look at our OSHA 300 logs. They look at all of our near misses, anything that we have, and they grade us according to their grading system.
Okay.
So receiving that Highwire award has been huge for Electra Link. Just because it shows you that we are putting safety as a top priority in our company, and having that safety culture has been great for all of us. It's really changed over the last 6 years that I've been here on employees taking an active role and being active in everything from just working, but all the way up to making sure that everyone on their job sites are safe.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. When you came on and kind of started doing the safety manager role, was there a lot of things that you added right away?
So there was a lot of things I changed. Or I'm not going to say changed. A lot of things that I tried to improve right away. There were some gaps that I felt like we needed coming from the general industry side over to construction that I wanted to push back over to some of the general industry standards that have those higher, stricter standards, because I feel like those higher, stricter standards place us at a different level than just a normal construction company that's just meeting those minimum standards. And it wasn't an easy task. Like it's something that you really have to be involved in and be very hands-on. So there was a lot of things that I felt we changed, but I think it changed for the best. And I actually, let me just tell you, I came on during COVID as the safety manager.
Okay.
So I moved over to that position in 2020 in the midst of chaos.
That had to have been crazy.
It was an interesting transition. We were very busy with the COVID aspect of things. So we were able to really look at improving safety and how to transition it to more remote safety.
Yeah.
So it made us really think outside of the box during that time. So I feel like we've done a very good job at it, and we've improved tremendously just with the bridging of the gap between our employees and us.
Yeah, that's good. It really seems like, just from my perspective, it seems like there's really good communication between the guys in the field and the people who are in the office.
I feel the same, and it's taken a while because the guys in the field were very family, I guess. Just that the crews were very much a family. They didn't want to be the people to tell on each other.
Yeah,
and I feel like they have broadened their spectrum to exactly what safety means and what it is for them.
That's good.
And it's creating the relationships, and that's what the big thing is. Safety is not here to police you. We're here to create those relationships so that you trust us and we can help you along that path.
Yeah, that's really good. Has there always been a safety guy in each of our locations, or is that something that is kind of more new?
So since I've been here, there's always been somebody in each market location. Okay. So it's... I feel like the people that were in place then were good at their job, but they were very, a lot of them behind the desk kind of things.
Okay.
Where now I want my guys in the field where they create those bonds and they have that time and they're walking those jobs and conducting those audits, and we're able to look and see what's going on.
Yeah, that's good. I know just from being in the Dallas location, Fellas is always out on the job site. He's out there more than in the office, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's really good. What ways are you making sure that our team continues staying up to date with new safety regulations, and how are you continuously improving Electra Link's safety program?
So OSHA rolls out new regulations every year sometimes. Sometimes every 2 years. There's always something changing in reference to safety. There may be a new interpretation of the law that's happened that I'm very on top of that side of things. I am involved in a lot of different committees, a lot of webinars. I do a lot of trainings. Our safety guys in the field go to trainings also. So whatever I find out, if it's something that's coming up, I do have a weekly conference call with my entire team every Tuesday. We have a call. We go over every aspect of what's going on in each market. Can we help if somebody's, going to be out? If there's an incident or an accident or a near miss that we need to look at. I mean, we talk every week on Tuesday afternoons. So it's really great that we have that open communication. We also, like I said, I attend a lot of conferences. So whatever I have, I pass it down to our team. Our guys are in the field a lot. If somebody needs to go to our training, I'll go to that field market location, and then they can go to that training so that somebody's always in that area. We really relied on each other because we have such different backgrounds in safety. That being able to bring that together has been a great thing for our team.
That's good. It probably helps I think it makes the safety team a very well-rounded team too.
It does. And having like people that started in the field, they know what it's like, and so it's a whole different environment. It's like having a bunch of brothers and one sister that watches out for each other, but we also will step in if there's an issue and bounce ideas and thoughts off of each other. So it's been a really good team that we have right now.
Good. That's awesome to hear. What would you say is one of the most important things for someone to remember when it comes to being safe on the job site?
So I think the main takeaway for safety is that safety is everybody's job. It's not just the safety department. It's not just the project manager. It's not just the employee. It starts from the bottom to the top. It's everybody's job. Everybody has the authority to stop work if something's unsafe. It's everybody's responsibility. Electra Link has really pushed that philosophy that it's everybody's job in safety. We've started several different programs in reference to safety. One being Caught in the Act, our Caught in the Act program. It's kind of a play on words. It's not something like it's a bad thing. We want you to catch your employees going above and beyond on safety.
That's awesome.
And it's great to see what other employees see in their team members. Because it really helps build that team morale. So I would say top of the bottom, everybody's involved. And safety is everybody's job.
Safety is everybody's job. I like that. That's a good note to end on. Is there anything else that you'd like to add that you think is important about Electra Link safety, or maybe anything that sets us apart from other company safety?
So I guess one of the big things that, you asked about improvement earlier. One of the big things that I think we've really transitioned from is safety is always a bunch of paper. Paper is hard to handle. And we learned that during COVID, like paper was hard to...
You can lose it easily. It gets misplaced.
You can be at home working remotely and have to try to figure out how to find this paper that you need. So we've really tried to push our safety program paperless, if that makes sense. You are actually involved in some of the big projects that we did over the last couple of years. We've moved our fire extinguisher inspections to a QR code so our guys can scan their inspection tags in the QR system. And we can pull those reports on fire extinguisher inspections. We've transitioned our safety data sheet book over to a QR code. Those QR codes on every gang box that we have in our field. So a GC can walk up, hit that QR code, and they can pull up our entire SDS book right on site. We also have paper copies on site because that is one of the requirements. But having that digitally there for them to do has been huge. We've moved our JHAs over to digital copies, which is great. We can actually pull all of those. We've moved incident reports digitally.
That's awesome.
Anything that I could possibly move to a digital platform to help. All of our audits are done digitally, so they can be pulled out of a database. I can actually do trending through those audits. So if there's an issue that we need to head on through our digital audits, it's just been a really great thing. And we've had a lot of
Good.
general contractors ask us, like, why did you go this route?
Yeah.
And we explain exactly what I just told you about the paper and trying to track things down. And we've seen some improvement on some of the other companies that are starting to push to a more of a paperless company.
Yeah.
So I feel like we kind of set that that tone in our industry to push Electra Link to become a trendsetter
Yes.
and get other people to follow behind us.
Yeah, I think we're definitely doing that in many ways,
I agree with you.
which is good.
Yes.
Which is really good. We're at the forefront.
We are.
So
We have a great team, not a leadership team, but all the way down to our employees in the field. I mean, our teams are very, they're comprised of a lot of dedicated, a lot of knowledgeable people in our field, and everybody's willing to help everybody. And it's been a great transition to construction to be part of such a team like this.
Good. It's definitely cool to see how everybody cares about everyone, even if you don't know them.
Correct.
You still care because y'all are on the same team.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you, Christy, so much for joining today's episode and giving the down low on Electra Link Safety Department. Electra Link takes safety seriously and cares for each person on our team. If you'd like to learn more about our safety department, you can head to electralink.com/safety and see all the things that we are doing there. Thank you all for listening, and make sure to tune in next Wednesday for a new episode. And remember to stay safe out there.